Well, good morning, everybody. We are back. No musical interlude today, but it is the Manchild Show with Boy Green Digital. Welcome aboard, everybody. Happy Wednesday to you. Our usual live spot on Wednesdays at 11 o'clock. So make sure you tune in every Wednesday at 11. And don't forget, by the way, to like and follow us. We love for you to do that. Subscribe to our channel at MC Show Digital and hit the little thumbs up. Likes are good. The world of YouTube likes. Because then they like us more, they like you more, they like the channel more, and therefore we get more people participating. So please take the time to do that. It's very easy. Just hit that little thumbs up, bottom right corner of your screen when it pops up. Same thing for subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. And make sure you click on the notifications as well. Today's broadcast brought to you by our friends at Play It Again Sports. Play It Again Sports in the DeWitt Town Plaza in DeWitt, right on Erie Boulevard. Lovely, lovely people. Fabulous equipment there. And you can save a ton of money, or more importantly, you can get rid of that stuff in your basement, that stuff in your garage. It's been taking up space. You haven't been able to back your car in properly. Bring it down to Play It Again. You could get cash money for your used sporting goods, especially looking for golf clubs, baseball gear right now, and lacrosse gear. So if you have any of that, premium dollars. Or you get store credit, buy something for yourself or for your kid. So think about it. Our friends at Play It Again Sports. Again, Erie Boulevard in the DeWitt Town Plaza. Good morning, Boy Green. How are you? Happy Wednesday to you.
I'm doing great, Manchild. As we continue to swim in our digital waters here, which is a lot of fun. So we've had a ton of content, Lerch, ready to do breaking news when required, ready to do our normal live shows and other content. So it's been quite a trip this week.
Bradshaw already noting a Boy Green going with the backwards cap today. It's very fixated, Bradshaw, on your cap selection. I know he's not probably liking my cap selection today. Because I know he's a
That's true.
JETS Jets guy. But we won't hold that against you, all right? Okay? We won't. Besides, I think you probably will have a better year than us this year. It'll be close. I think it's going to be close. I think you're going to have a better year than the Giants. You don't think it's going to be close?
I think
Maybe
so.
It's like, I don't think it's going to be close at all.
Like,
I think we're going to the Super Bowl. We're going to the Super Bowl. We're going to the playoffs.
Yes.
Hey, when's that big date again, by the way, for the Dallas Jets game that you're doing your big party and your whole 9 yards? I'm still considering trying to get to that thing. So
That's what I heard.
Again?
Yeah, that is week 5, Sunday, October 5th.
October 5th. All right, I'm going to write that down. October 5th, Sunday. Okay. All right.
So, Lerch, here's two things, two important things. So you could just consider to go and go yourself. You may want to consider entering our raffle on the Boy Green channel for $20.
You're right.
Yeah, so, like, the whole
just
thing.
$20 down, I could get the whole thing.
Exactly. So
but here's the thing. Here's a problem with this. Okay.
Sure.
Listen, not that I'm not willing to invest in your channel. Okay. All right. Because you're here with me, you're investing in mine. All right.
Of course.
We're partners. But still, I don't mind, and I tune into your channel from time to time.
Sure.
Here's my worry that your viewers, your subscribers are going to get PO'd if somehow, your partner from another show gets the prize. They're going to look at me like, come on, how did that get picked out of the hat correctly? So, no, I think I'm going to have to do it the legit way. I'm sorry to say.
Okay, I appreciate that.
You have to pay like everyone else, all right? Like most of the people. But, I mean, I'm getting the chef food.
Yes.
The tailgate. It's been a long. To be honest with you, it's been a long time since I've been to a tailgate, and there's a reason behind that. You say, like, "Oh, what are you, Lerch? You're not a sports fan?" I am a sports fan, but you have to understand. For 30 plus years, I've been covering sports through media.
Right.
Typically, when I go to games, I'm going there to cover the game. So you're not dressed properly for tailgating. You can't be drinking before the game. You can't be doing any of the things that you do at a tailgate. So tailgate. I walk through the park. Like, hey, shake some hands. Get a trinket here or something. But no, I don't get to tailgate. Now, I do occasionally go to games as a fan. We went to a Pirates game with a couple of our friends a couple of weeks ago. I've done
no
that
tailgating though
with football and basketball and other sports events. But like usually just not enough time unless someone else has organized it. Like, I'm definitely not the tailgate king. Years ago, I was the Super Bowl party king. When I lived in Queens, okay, every year the Super Bowl was at my house, okay? And we had I've told you the story. I told the story on the air, but for our digital fans, okay, because a lot of them don't go all the way back to our radio days. I had a Super Bowl party for the Buffalo Bills Giants. I'm terrible with years. It was either 86 or
Okay. Okay.
which
Let me get it.
was the Norwood miss? Was the Norwood miss 86 or was it 90? I think it was 86, if my
Okay.
mind serves me right. I think Norwood wide right was 86. All right. And I had probably in my, little, 2-bedroom Queens home that my parents owned. I shouldn't say my home, my parents' home. Um, I had probably 40 people. All right.
It was 1991.
Oh, so it was 90. So it was the 91.
Yeah, I was about to say because the Bills' 4 years were all in the 90s. So.
Right. The second of those two Super Bowls. Okay.
Right.
So the two Super Bowl wins for the Giants, 86 and 90 are two of the Super Bowl
Yeah.
winning years
Right.
for the Giants. But, we all know 90 means 91, right?
Right.
91
Brad, so
means
that's
92
correct. It's a
because the game
1990
doesn't happen.
season.
Right.
The actual date was in
Doesn't it?
1991.
Right.
Yes.
So we identified as Giants were the Super Bowl champions in 1986. They actually won the Super Bowl in 1987. It's just a calendar
Correct.
year thing. All right. So let's not be
Right.
thrown by all that. Okay. So 91. All right.
Yes.
So I had about at least 40 people over my little
Wow.
Queens, my parents' Queens home. This is
Sizable.
not a big place. The living room, I mean, gosh, I mean, I'm trying to think in feet, but I mean, the room was probably 20 by 15,
Wow.
maybe
Okay.
25 by 15, something like that. We're not talking about a large room here. All right.
Clearly not.
A sectional couch against the wall that went like an L. Probably you could get 6 or 7 people on that couch packed in tight. Okay.
Okay.
So where's that leave the other 35-ish people, right? So they're standing in the dining room looking into the living room. I had TVs everywhere. I always had multiple TVs. So there's a TV in the dining room, 2 in the living room. I had something called, back then you didn't have this, bathroom vision. All right. Where I had a little tiny, one of these little tiny plug-in TVs with the antenna. All right. Black and white. And I tuned it into the game. And if you went to the lav, no reason to rush out. Bring your beer up there. Bring your reading material. I had a sports trivia book up there too for your reading pleasure.
Nice.
But the game was on in the bathroom, so even if you went to the bathroom, you missed nothing. You hear people screaming downstairs. You knew exactly what was going on because you were watching it in the bathroom. You could scream along from the bathroom and have those echoes. All right. So anyway, so I was the king of the Super Bowl party, and that year when that kick went wide left, I've told this story on the air before. About 30-ish people, including myself, dove into a pile in that living room. Okay. So I'd cleared out everything but the couch. There's no coffee table and stuff, which would normally have been there. So it's just all floor. So people were sitting on the floor plus on the sofa, and then some people standing in the dining room. And when he missed it and the Giants won on that kick, we did it like it was like one of those, you're piling for a loose ball, fumble, get on it, right? And everybody piles on. Well, it was that in celebration. And there were, I don't know how many people on the pile because I was near the bottom of it, unfortunately, So I was like, yeah. And then I dove on the floor, and then everyone dove on top of me. And I was like, oh my God, get off me. Like I was crazy claustrophobic, man. People were crushing me down at the bottom of that pile. I was just laying at the bottom of the pile. So we had some epic Super Bowl parties in my house.
Well,
and I mentioned it felt like the floor was going to collapse. Like, I mean, it's just a floor, like when people were piling on, jumping on, I was like, dudes, the floor's going to go, like, I'm going to drop a hole in my parents' living room.
Right.
Could you imagine that? Right. I drop a hole in
something.
my parents' living room right to the basement. Good grief.
Quick point of clarity, Lerch. It was wide right, not wide left. I know in this digital
I said
world.
Wide right. No, I said wide right.
You said wide left.
Oh, I made a mistake. It went this way. This way.
And again, it could be the digital thing, Lerch. We're trying to remember which way.
Yeah, bad with the directional thing right now.
Yeah.
No, it's wide right. You're correct. Wide right.
Yeah.
All right. I want to go back and check the tape and see if I said wide left. I'm pretty sure I said wide right. But anyway, I won't question you. You're listening to me. I often am wrong in what I say and what I think I said. So we'll just leave it at that. Anyway, where were we? Where did that conversation come
from? The party. So like Badshaw's saying, I want to see you there at the game, he says.
Yeah.
And you said you haven't been to a lot of tailgates, haven't been in a lot of tailgate parties, things of that nature.
And what really intrigues me about this one is that you are having this tailgate catered by a chef. Like
professional chef.
And
correct.
you read the menu, like the burgers that this guy is making.
They're custom.
I mean, I want to try every one of them. I'm like, what? Oh my God. The next one sounds more delicious than the next one sounds more delicious than the next one. So this is just no, ordinary tailgate there, I say, where you throw a couple of, buds in a can in a cooler and you throw a couple of hot dogs and burgers with nothing on them, and you're like, all right, yeah, there's the tomatoes and stuff over there on the table. This guy's
throw them on yourself. Right.
Yeah. This is fancy schmancy.
And shout out to everyone in the chat because Badshaw's going to be there, Hep's going to be there.
Plus, listen, I mean, rooting against the Cowboys. I mean, that alone okay, is enough to get me there. That the Cowboys are, going to be part of this. So I'll see what I can do. Again,
Okay.
I get into the fall, and for those of you that don't know, I'm a college professor. I teach broadcasting in
Yes.
college, and so everything depends on my crazy schedule in
But
college.
again,
What's
priorities. They'll
going
understand, Lurch. They'll understand.
No, they won't understand. I have to show up to work every day. They don't understand.
I
Or I
see.
don't get paid and then I get in trouble.
Well,
Yeah, we don't need that.
yeah.
We don't need
Okay.
that. And then they're going to see,
Well,
and then the worst of it is with today's world of social media and camera phones, it'd be Lurch like diving into a table, Lurch like drinking out of his beer bat, I'll probably bring my beer
yeah,
bat down if I
you
come,
should,
down at the
right?
stadium, drinking,
Lurch on the jumbotron.
yeah,
Yeah.
shotgunning beers out of my beer bat, and like, oh yeah, feeling well today, huh? Oh yeah, yeah, your
Ferris Bueller's Day
dog's got
Off
to
or
go to the
something.
vet today, huh?
Right.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Hey, you look pretty healthy yesterday when you were throwing down that beer bat at the Jets
That's
Cowboys
right.
game. I
Yeah.
saw the video. Yes. Oh boy, trouble, trouble,
So
trouble.
yeah. So we'll see if we can get it all cleared up. That'd
Yes.
be a great trip to go on.
Yeah. So we'll see. I'm going to see what I can do, Boy Green. I sincerely am going to see if I can swing that. All right. How much time do I
Okay.
have? What's your
Well,
deadline?
technically, alerts there is no cutoff per
Okay.
se.
All right.
Now, but the cutoff is this. Obviously, the tickets are the tickets. So I have 51 because someone just actually joined yesterday
Ooh.
after the fact. So we
Mhm.
have another person going. So we have 51 people going, and as long as the seats continue to be available right next to us,
Okay.
they will continue
They'll
to
keep
sell
giving
me
it to
those
us.
seats.
So it's really on
But
them.
obviously, eventually it's open to the public and people can buy the seats right next to us, so I can't block those off forever. So obviously the further we go along here, the more unavailable those seats could be.
I got a good idea here too. This could work. Ooh.
Oh, lay it on me.
So I think if I went, I mean, not that I mean, I could have a great time with all of you guys for sure.
Sure. Yeah.
But as you know, and I was talking about this a couple of weeks ago, you know how big Father's Day is to me.
Of
And
course. Yeah.
this year, I only have one child. He's a son. He's 23
Yes.
years old now. He lives down in New York City.
Okay.
And my son kind of dropped the ball, might say,
Kind of.
this Father's Day.
Kind
Yeah,
of.
he dropped the ball. I'm going to be nice
Yeah.
because he's a
He
nice boy.
fumbled.
He's a nice young
Yeah.
man. All right.
He went wide right.
But
You're saying
but he dropped the ball. I mean, so far for Father's Day, Dad has
so
not
far.
received. Dad has not. Well, yeah, I know. It was in June, right? Dad has not received a card. Dad has not received a gift. Dad did get a phone call on Father's Day,
Well,
which I
okay. I
appreciated.
guess. Yeah.
But normally, every Father's Day before this, I have planned Father's Day, and I told my son the torch is when you get out of college, the torch is getting switched to you. Now
Yeah.
you plan Father's Day and you plan it for your dad, much like the advice I
Sure.
gave to you. For those of you that watch your show, they know you took your dad, you spared the expense, okay,
I
and
did.
you took your dad. Who's usually the great organizer and pays for everything. He's a wonderful, wonderful
Correct.
man, your dad. All right.
Yeah.
And I said, no, for Father's Day, this is the one day you reverse it where
Mm.
you suck it up a little bit, you go into your wallet, you plan it, and you think about dad in terms of the
Yes.
plan. It's not, oh, I love this, therefore let's do it. You think what dad loves, and you say, let's go do something that dad loves,
Of
whether I
course.
love it or not. This is about
Right.
dad having a great time, and I'll be there to be part of it. Which is exactly
Correct.
what you did. You took him to the Brett Michaels concert. You didn't even tell him where he was going, which is even more
Nope.
awesome. Great plan there. And then you got the VIP off the video. There it is. I mean,
Yeah.
unbelievable. I know you've told the story, but that is a fabulous, fabulous story. So good for you. And so I gave you advice. You took my advice, and did it not pay off?
Oh my
Are
God!
you like
It
not
was
your
one of the
dad's
greatest
hero
moments of
right
all
now?
time.
Like your dad is
I
going to talk
am.
about this for the next 30 years. He's going to be,
Right.
grandkids on the lap. Did you hear about when Paul took me? Little
He's going to
Paul took
brag to
me.
his friends about it,
Oh
like my
God,
son.
you kidding
Father's
me?
Day was
My
epic.
son, it was awesome. Here, look at the pictures. Check it out.
Yeah,
So come on, like I gave you great advice. All right.
you
So
did.
back to my son now. Okay,
Yeah,
my son did not take my
he didn't.
advice.
He didn't.
He has a very busy life, so I'm going to give him a level of forgiveness. But this could be a good makeup.
Oh,
Maybe what I do is I say, "Hey, son, here
yeah.
we are. It's July the 16th today. I've still been waiting for my
Quite.
Father's Day to actually happen. So
Yeah,
how about this one? All right, there's this trip, to the Meadowlands, drivable for you, drivable for me. All
yeah.
right, we meet up, we do the tailgate, we go to the game. We got 50 some odd friends with us. We have a good
Yep.
time. That's what Dad wants for Father's Day. Now you got to
Ooh,
pay for Dad's ticket. You got to pay for your ticket.
of course.
Come on, man. Kid can afford it.
And the plan's all set up. It helps him. He doesn't have to do this Brett Michaels thing where I had to get us to an obtuse location for both of us, pay for the concert tickets, pay
Right.
for the this, pay for the all these different things. Like it's all controlled. Like he still has to pay for it, but still it's all in a line. Everything's all set up. The food is part of it. He doesn't even have to think about that part.
Okay. I think that's it. I think that's the ticket.
Okay, lay
And
it on.
Pops doesn't have to worry about the cash.
Yeah.
Son takes care of it. Bingo, bango, we're done. Father's Day complete.
Boom.
Okay.
All right. Well, let me
I'm
know
gonna work it out.
ASAP on
We'll
that.
try and work
Sure.
it out. I'll be reporting
Okay.
back on this channel. Be reporting back here
Okay.
on our YouTube channel as to
Great.
how that conversation went and where that's all going. And then, all you in the chat that are mentioning it, well, I'll be there
Yes.
to join you.
All
All right.
right. Let's go.
Well, welcome aboard, everybody. It's good to be with you here on a Wednesday, talking sports with you. A couple of topics that we want to get to. Let me start with baseball. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on baseball today, but the All-Star game was last night. Okay, usually much ado about nothing, except this one, Boy Green, was fascinating. Um, 3 years ago, the Major League Baseball people put a new rule into the All-Star game. They had been fooling around with All-Star games for rules for years. Remember, they had
Yeah.
the if you win the game, you get home field in the World
Oh, in the World
Series,
Series,
and then the
right?
players rebelled on that, and now they pulled the plug on that. And it's been a struggle to find meaning in the All-Star game like it once was. And one of the rules they changed 3 years ago because they were concerned, and probably rightly so in a lot of ways, that if you go into extra innings, because a game could go a long way, if you get into extras, that now you're running out of arms, or you're having to tax pitchers who need to be ready for the second half of their season with their respective teams. So
Right.
they didn't want to do that. They don't want the game to go past 9 innings and the game is over. Remember, they
Yeah.
had a game, well, I don't know, what was it, within the last 10-ish years, where they had a tie. We were like,
Oh yeah.
are you
Oh,
kidding me? We're ending
boo.
the game on a tie? What a dopey thing.
How
All this for a
un-American.
tie? Un-American,
Yeah.
completely un-American. This is not soccer, my friends. Okay. We don't end in ties. Okay. So, long story short, they came up 3 years ago with a concoction that said, let's eliminate this whole tie thing and the extra inning thing in one fell swoop. And they came up with this little home run derby esque thing that you go to
Yeah.
if the game is tied, which is exactly what happened last night. You pick 3 players from each side. Okay. I guess the manager selects the players and they go up and they get a chance to hit home runs. I think they get 3 swings apiece if I have it right. All right, and you get a chance
Yeah.
to
Here are the rules.
go ahead, read the
Real
rules so
quick.
we get it right. Yep.
This is from ESPN. So the NL manager Dave Roberts, the AL manager Aaron Boone selected 3 players and 1 alternate to take 3 swings. The team
Three
with the
swings.
most home
Yeah.
runs wins the game. There
So
you
that's
go.
it. So basically, there's 9 swings aside, and then I guess if it's tied, you'd have a tiebreaker. But or maybe it'd be distance. Might be distance. The longest home run wins or something. That's what they do in a home
Right.
run
Sure.
derby when there's a tie. It was a home run derby tie the other night. So and they just go by distance, the longest home run. So it went to this. I'll call it a shootout. I mean, this really was actually soccer-like. We don't see this in soccer during regular season games, but when we do see it is in the World Cup because after they do the one overtime, all right, then or it's really like 2 periods, but once they do their overtime stuff, then it goes to a shootout. And now you pick 5 players, and you go back, forth, back, forth, back, forth. If it's tied, you keep going until the tie's broken. Then you keep choosing different players. So if anyone knows soccer, you know that. And a lot of soccer purists hate that. Just ruins the game. That's not what soccer's about. Is this silly shootout where it's huge advantage to the kicker, to the striker over the goalie. Poor goalie's got to dive one way and pray that he goes the right way, or that the kicker botches it somehow. The shooter botches it. So anyway, so people don't seem to love it in soccer, but I actually loved it in baseball. I thought it was a really good solution. It was exciting. Kyle Schwarber went up there and dinged 3 in a row and won it for the National League. And Pete Alonso was lifting people over his head and going crazy. And yeah, it worked.
Well, here it is. Let's go to it, Lurch. This is
Okay,
from
let's take a look at
last
it.
night. Here we go. Let's go.
Maybe. Kinda. We seem to have a problem. It's not firing, huh? What's going on? He's scratching. What's happening, Paul? I don't know what's going on. I'm not seeing anything.
Oh no! My apologies. I thought this was all playing on the screen.
No,
Whoops.
none of it was playing on the screen. What was playing on the screen
I
is me and
see.
you looking like dopes. What happened?
Oh, okay. Whoopsie. I've been
You were enjoying.
watching
There
it
we go.
myself here.
Okay. All right.
I'm
Thank
so
you.
sorry. Let me
Whew.
reset
Now
all
you may
of that.
play it. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Anywho, sorry about that,
Go
folks.
for it.
Yeah.
All right. I'm glad you were enjoying it.
In the air to center field, headed towards the wall, and gone to dead center. That's huge for the National League. They're within one. So there you go. He said if he could get it on his first swing, and he did. Oh, Schwarber's in the All-Star game. Oh, tied at 3.
That one was deep.
MVP material if he gets the third one
All
right here.
One more. Here's the game winner.
This guy, if he stopped playing, he'll be a softball superstar. Pretty darn good baseball superstar. AL rallied in the game. NL has rallied in the swing.
And there it is.
With the hat trick. Look out, Chop House. National League takes the lead 4-3.
There you go, 4-3, and that ended up being the win.
Okay.
There
All
you
right.
go.
Look, I know nobody cares about the All-Star game. And it is. It's like all of these games, these All-Star games, they've gone down the tube. Hockey finally caught lightning in a bottle with this Four Nations thing that they did last year. It'll be interesting to see if that was just a novelty. Was it a one-hit wonder, or is that going to be sustainable for 4, 5, 6 years? Are people going to say, this is great, this is cool, this is something I have to watch, But we know what's gone on with the NBA, disaster. The NFL,
Pro
basically,
Bowl,
now
softball.
the Pro Bowls touch football. It's crazy.
Dodgeball and all this crazy
And
stuff.
dodgeball
Right,
and stuff. And now Major League Baseball's trying to hang on to this great tradition, but whatever. It is what it is. But I at least wanted to touch on it. I thought it was a cool way to end it regardless. At least a little bit of excitement for something that hasn't been that exciting over the last bunch of years.
And here's the other kicker to the All-Star game is that a lot of the best players left. They had been there all week. So apparently even for choosing of this, tiebreaker scenario, they didn't have Shohei Ohtani. Aaron Judge apparently and a couple others had already skipped out. They left.
Oh, they left the game while it was going on? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
this is a story from ESPN. Boone and Roberts had a finite group from which to choose. Around half the players are gone from the stadium, already headed home after a long, hot week here. Those who stuck around were rewarded with the entertaining gimmick that ended up being there. Yeah, several of their best players was gone. Ohtani wasn't there, Judge wasn't there, and several others.
So what were they, beating the traffic? I mean,
I guess, basically.
What in the world? My goodness.
Yeah.
Okay. It just further validates how bad this has gotten.
That they're skipping out before it's even over.
I got my at bat. I can't go back in the game. Hey, Skip, I gotta head back to New York. I gotta get to LA. I gotta go see the fam. Why are we doing this?
Yeah.
That is crazy. I didn't know that. That's insane.
Yeah. So sorry if that ruined it for you, Lerch.
That is bleeping insanity, as they say.
Yeah.
All right. What do you want to do? You want to go football next, or you want to do the stuff about the NCAA?
Yeah, wherever you want to go, Lerch. The world is your oyster.
Let's go to the NCAA since it's we have that very, very strong local hook here in Central New York,
of course,
and Syracuse basketball. So the Athletic published a list essentially of the top 10 all-time college basketball players, right? Was it NCAA?
Top 25.
Top 25. And was it NCAA tournament, or was it just
no? So they were all different. So there was 3 lists that were dropped. So top 25 players of the 2000s, and their credentials were listed
of the 2000s.
So if you played a year, 2 year, 3 or 4 year, what did you do in those years? So all kinds of things, but also the rest of them. Top 25 college basketball coaches in the 2000s. Top 25 teams. That was more specific of what they did in their respective years.
Okay. Well, this one was particularly interesting. The player one of the 2000s, the best players of the 2000s, because at the top of the list are some incredibly recognizable names. Number one, for the folks here living in Central New York, Carmelo Anthony was named number 1. Now, let's not forget, Melo was only at Syracuse for a year. He played
A
his
couple of
freshman
months,
year.
really.
Really, yeah,
Right.
6 months. I mean, he's, I know from personal cover the team. He stopped going to class, once they got into the tournament. I don't need to go to class
Right.
anymore. I'm not graduating anyway. Getting the heck out of
Certainly.
here. So once he had cleared that first semester and got the grades necessary to continue to play for the rest of the year, Carmelo was out. Okay, he had checked out. I don't know what he was doing during his days. He was probably, in the weight room or, putting up jump shots. So Carmelo Anthony was named number one on this top 25 list of the best college players in the 2000s. Melo won that
Quality over
championship, as
quantity,
we know,
Lerch.
in the year 2003. Yes, so quality over quantity. They had a nice write-up on him and talked about how his impact was so incredible over a very, very short period of time. So I'll tell you the other guys on the list. You tell me, is this
Yeah.
list
Okay.
right? Did they do a good job on this list, Boy Green? So
Okay.
Melo was one.
Okay.
Jalen Brunson was number two. That actually surprised me a little bit. I
Jalen
know he was
Brunson.
terrific at Villanova, but Jalen Brunson, wow, that doesn't pop for me. And I'm the biggest Jalen Brunson fan of them all. He's my New York Knicks hero right now.
Yeah.
But I was surprised the college level that Jalen Brunson was number two in the 2000s. I would have thought this guy would have been, or the next guy. Steph Curry was number three, and
Right. Davidson. Right.
and Davis was number four. So,
Okay.
those two guys and their impact, that felt like, playing for Davidson and bringing Davidson, deep into the tournament for someone like Curry, a guy that we've never seen, shoot the ball like he can shoot it. He's the greatest shooter in the history of the NBA. It's not even arguable. Anybody that wants to have an argument about that, let's go. I'm ready to go. Put on the gloves and let's go. So Curry was number three, and Davis was number four.
Anthony Davis. Yeah.
Anthony Davis, yes, sorry. And then Kemba Walker was five.
The UConn
Nobody
year.
will
Come
ever
on.
forget that
Insane.
year. I mean, that was an insane, crazy year. So Kemba's five. Jameer Nelson, who took St. Joe's, to great heights, number six.
Sure.
I agree with that. Jameer Nelson was a really remarkable college
People forget about
basketball
Jameer
player.
Nelson. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think sometimes, the guys that really lift, if you think about the guys on that list, they all had really great things that they did, particularly in the tournament, to lift their team. Without Melo, the Syracuse probably still has no national championship. I mean,
Of course.
what he did,
Yes.
he is the most critical player on that team. Villanova has won a bunch, but Jalen Brunson was really important to that group.
And they won two championships.
Yeah,
with
and they won
Jalen
two.
Brunson.
Curry, like I said, taking a small school like Davidson and bringing him
Right.
to greatness. Anthony Davis as well. His skills. I just remember as a center in college that he had point guard skills, and that
Right.
he started years before when he was smaller as a point guard, and then he turned into a center, which is I guess probably why he has somewhat point guard like skills for his center. Kemba Walker,
And
the run, what he did with UConn. Go ahead, Boy Green. I'm sorry.
No. And just jumping on a couple of these. So Anthony
Mhm.
Davis, so he leads Kentucky to that 2012 national title. That's the only championship of John Calipari's Kentucky tenure, which is crazy. There was that 38-2 season. So obviously AD deserves a lot of love for that. And people still say that Kemba's run with UConn, again, he was there from 2008 to 2011, but that specific run we all talk about, Cardiac Kemba, is one of the best individual postseason runs in the history of college basketball. People still say that. He was just, again, as they say in the story too, a man possessed. I was just in disbelief having out-of-body experiences watching Kemba Walker. So yeah, he did. To be honest, Kemba Walker should probably be higher on this list, but nonetheless. And Jameer Nelson's probably the best player in St. Joe's history. So you got some wonderful players here.
And Hep says Larry Bird, but that would be pre-2000. So if we went back, Larry Bird could arguably be at the top of that list. What to take a team just like Curry takes Davidson, Larry Bird takes Indiana State. Nobody even knew who they were, and what he did to drive them into the tournament, into the championship game, remarkable. And one other here from Hep that I think is worth throwing up there, and that is greatest Syracuse athlete ever. Yeah, Jim Brown. Hep, totally on board with you on that. I agree.
Because you got to give him the credit for all the sports.
Wonderful people, but Jim Brown. Jim Brown's remarkable athlete in Syracuse history. Probably the greatest athlete ever come through, and arguably, you can make an argument for him. Was he one of the greatest, if not greatest athlete in pro football history? I know it's a lot. He's saying a lot there, but
of course, there's a lot of people.
Jim Brown was was something in pro football. I know
Yeah.
he didn't play the long term, so you're going to play that game with me. He didn't play
He's
long
great at
enough.
lacrosse too. People forget about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, Brown was freakish. So Jameer Nelson 6, Shane
Yep.
Battier is number 7.
Oh boy, Duke.
Tyler Hansbrough from North
Okay,
Carolina.
sure.
So
Yeah.
you got the old Dookie and the North Carolina guys popping in there at 7 and 8. Josh Eady, the giant from Purdue.
Zach
who's now-
Edey.
Zach Eady. I'm
Zach
sorry.
Edey.
Zach Eady,
Yes.
the giant from Purdue, who's now in the NBA.
He just played. He was playing in
freakish guy.
2024, and he already made the top 10. That's crazy.
And then Kevin Durant at number 10. Now, and Durant, by the way, played his college ball at Texas, in case you don't know.
Correct,
They unfortunately bounced in the second round of the NCAA tournament after that one season that Durant played in Texas. So they didn't make a deep run, but Durant was still a remarkable player in college. There's a name that's not on here now. I guess it would be pre-2000. That's why. Okay, I was gonna say why is
Who?
Shaquille O'Neal not on this list, but I
Well,
guess
he
he
was
would
definitely
be right.
pre-2000.
Yeah, he'd be pre-2000.
Yeah, right. Because he was winning championships with the Lakers. Let me see what his college career
you're
ended
right.
up.
I told you
being.
I'm terrible with years. I've always said this to you for years and years. I'm just awful with years. It's just a curse that the good Lord.
Yeah, his
cast upon me.
NBA career started in 1992, so
Yeah,
he is way
before.
See
how
He
bad I
played-
am with the years. See how bad I am
Yeah,
with years.
right.
Just
Yeah,
bad.
Shaq Attack played at LSU from 89 to 92.
I'll tell you what, this would be a cool list to make over, a 50-year span or a 40-year span
Yeah.
rather than just going back 25 years. Because then we'd bring in, the Magics, the Birds, the Shaquille O'Neals, and then how does this list stand up against those guys? That would be interesting.
Because really, one of the last true players that played his entire college basketball career without skipping to the NBA early, it's like Tim Duncan. And if you think about, like, if you start going way behind 2000, right? Pre-2000, we're getting players that had fuller careers. There's so many Anthony Davis, one and done. Carmelo Anthony, one and done. There's a ton of one and done players on this list.
I was just trying to think if I were making a list for, let's just say 50 years, 50 plus years, whatever, but more of the history.
Sure.
I think I know who my number one would be, and I don't know how popular it would be for some people.
Okay, go ahead.
Any idea who you think? I'm thinking.
It's so obvious.
And I'll tell you what.
50 years.
And I'll tell you what. The numbers, the raw numbers. I haven't looked at his stats in a while. I mean, you're not gonna be like, whoa, crazy. But to me, it was his impact on games, and we saw him a lot here in Syracuse. There's your clue, Boy Green.
Oh, I think I already knew who it was before you even gave me that hint. I would say Patrick Ewing at Georgetown.
I think it would be Patrick Ewing. Now, we're going to look at points per game and stuff, and we're going to find players in college that averaged way more points than Ewing. Ewing did, I think, all of his years average double digits in rebounds, and of course, block shots. He was pretty high up there in block shots as well.
Okay, I have all his numbers.
All right, go ahead. Give his numbers year by year. Go through his 4 years.
He played all
the
four
full
of his
4
years.
years. Yep. Go ahead.
Yeah, Georgetown. Yep. So we'll start out in 81-82. He averaged 12 points per game, and it was 7.5 rebounds per game. So there you go. That's his freshman season.
So first freshman was again. Give it one more time. How many points?
Yeah, 12.7 points per game.
12 and 7. Okay, so very modest. Numbers wise, very modest. Freshman. Yep. Okay.
Next year, he jumps up. He scores 5 more points per game at 17.7, and then he averages 10.2 rebounds per game.
Yeah. So now he's double-digit rebounds. He's a double.
And also, the important nugget here that's consistent throughout his whole career is he averaged 3+ blocks per game his entire college career.
Okay.
So blocks,
which
obviously, a huge number
significant.
There.
That's significant.
Okay. 83-84, he went a little down on the points, 16.4, but 3.6 blocks per game and 10 rebounds per game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then his final senior season, they win the championship, 14.6 points per game, 3.6 blocks per game, 9.2 boards per game.
See, the numbers don't astound you. You're not like mind blown.
They're
Holy
fine.
crow.
Yeah.
No wonder you'd say this guy's number one. It's so obvious and emphatic.
But you say the eye test. That goes beyond
me,
the numbers.
picking Ewing is the eye test. What it was to face that guy, how every team game planned to try to stop him and for him not to stop everything they were doing. I mean, teams didn't even drive into the paint because Patrick Ewing was there. Like, that's the kind of impact. So the numbers don't bear that. The numbers say, oh, good, rock solid, really good player, but they don't scream world-class player, number one on a list of elite players in the history of college basketball. But he passes the look test for me.
No.
more than any player I think I've ever watched in college. And
That's
that's a pretty
fair.
emphatic statement, but I believe it to be
Well,
true. I'd again love to sit down and make my list and then say
and go through the
who
numbers
would
and
challenge
data.
for that top
Right.
spot, and
Yeah.
probably part of that assessment would be to look at numbers, but I still would have to be convinced. I have no idea what Shaq's numbers were in college, but
Yeah.
let me just wax poetic that Shaq has better numbers than him in college. You don't have to look
Okay.
them up. It doesn't matter. It's just for
Yeah.
the
Right.
point of this argument. So let's say Shaq's numbers are just way better than Ewing's, but then I would still be like, did Shaq impact the game the way that Ewing did in terms of the intimidation and all the things that he presented? And I think I would come to the conclusion that that's a no. So I don't know who it would be, who could challenge him. Yeah, MJ was mentioned here by Hep. I mean, but MJ, again, very good college player, but not as great a career as Ewing, not as
Well, Lurch.
impactful during all of his years as Ewing was. Go ahead.
So I stumbled upon this list. It's the 50 greatest college basketball players of all time, and it does not discern 2000s
Okay,
on,
good.
pre-2000s, anything.
Let's talk about it. Where's Ewing on that list?
And I'll find Ewing on that list in a second. Here are some of the big names. Lou Alcindor.
Probably some of them, right. Some of them are going to go way back. Like Kareem was insane in college. So maybe he would. I would
through
look at his numbers and I'd be
right.
like, oh, dummy, it's Kareem. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, right. Pete Maravich, Pistol Pete, LSU,
Maravich had
1968.
That's a guy where the numbers would hold up. Maravich's
for sure.
numbers are off the charts offensively.
Right.
Offensive numbers are off the chart. Go ahead.
Other names: Oscar Robertson, who played at Cincinnati.
So old. God, I just wouldn't even know what Oscar did in college almost. Yeah.
Yeah. This one you would know just because Bud probably talked about him 100 times. Bill Walton at UCLA, the championships and individual stats, 71 to 74.
Walton was remarkable. My buddy Bud Poliquin, our buddy Bud Poliquin covered Walton in college. He was a great college player.
Bill Russell played at San Francisco, 50 through 56. Again, older players.
So old, yeah.
Wilt Chamberlain's on this list out of Kansas, 56 to 58.
Every list.
And Ewing was placed 15th on this list. 15th. And he was, just to give you a pocket of people that were around him, he is just behind Elvin Hayes, who played at Houston, and then just in front of Elgin Baylor.
All right. See, it's mostly these crazy old, really old players that
Let me see if
none of
there's
us.
anyone modern above him.
Yeah. Look, it is. I'd have to parse the numbers to really look at. But no way Ewing's 15 on my list. That's not even a possibility that he could be that far down.
Here are the modern players above him. Michael Jordan is above him. He's 12th on the list.
Don't agree.
Larry Bird is above him, 10th on the list.
Bird, I might have. Bird is possible.
Indiana State. David Thompson is above him. NC State. He's
a very good college player. He had very good numbers.
And then that's really the only modern players outside of Bill Walton, who I mentioned, who's sort of on the edge there.
Yeah. So modern players, if we're going to say modern, Walton and Bird, maybe. Now I could get down and dig into numbers.
But no way on Jordan?
No way on Jordan. I saw Jordan play. I saw him. He was playing at the same time as Ewing practically. No, he was terrific, but he was not like Ewing. Ewing was a spectacle. You went to college basketball games to see that guy play. And John Thompson, as you know, the former coach at Georgetown.
Of course. Yep.
The offense that he ran, the whole team was predicated on defense. Like it was almost like, oh, they play offense too. The team was just predicated on stopping people, of intimidating. They were a complete defensive mindset. I don't know what offense he ran there. I mean, like, if Ewing had worked in college with a guy that was an offensive mind, he would have scored insane amounts of points in college. They didn't. That was just not their fly. They grinded you to a pulp. They wanted you to play in the 50s and the 60s against them. They would win games a lot of times, low scoring games. They didn't need to score a lot of points to beat people because they were just so dominant defensively. That was the John Thompson philosophy. So, Ewing's numbers are never going to show what Ewing really could have done in college.
Fair enough.
That's what I think about Ewing. And yet still, when he came out, he was arguably the most coveted, get that number one pick, right? We know about the supposed frozen envelope. Getting that pick, everybody in the NBA or anybody that was around the NBA said, this guy will change your franchise. He was the most coveted number one in ages, probably going back to Kareem.
So why do you say supposed frozen envelope? I don't understand that word that's going in front of it.
It's a stupid conspiracy theory. please give me a break.
Okay.
They
All
got lucky, just like other teams get lucky, right? Who got lucky this past year? Got to
The
number one?
Mavs.
Yeah, the
They
Mavs.
got
Give me a
Cooper
break.
Flag
Yeah,
frozen
and the
envelope.
same thing. Everybody's like, it's rigged. It's guys.
Come on, that is a little odd, don't you think?
It's odd, but coincidences are odd. You never had weird things happen in your life, okay? Here, you want a weird thing? All right, you asked for it. You're getting it now. All right.
All right.
Tell me if this makes this is whether you believe in the afterlife, spirits. Okay, I'm going in a wild direction here. Okay.
Wow. All right.
But
Here
here
we
it
go.
comes.
Buckle up.
Okay.
Okay.
Wild as it may be. So this past weekend I was down in New York City. All right. So I
Yes.
mentioned it on our show. All
You
right.
did. Yep.
And the primary reason I was going down was to visit some friends and families. But my mother was having a heart operation. Okay.
Mhm.
A fairly routine operation, but nonetheless, my mother's 87 years old. Nothing's routine at
Scary,
87
of
years
course.
old. So she's going in for this heart operation. And I have a conversation with her after the operation. Okay.
Okay.
Now, my mother is a big believer in like karma. Like she always sees things. I told you she has this magic number 37, and she'll be like, "Look,
Right.
37. Look, 37." Just signs. My mother's all about the signs.
Right.
Okay. But listen to this. This is freaky. Okay. Tell me if you
All
buy
right.
it or not. All right. So the night before the operation, all right,
Okay.
she said this to me. My father passed 3 years ago. She said, I'm gonna pray to Dad, to hold my hand during the operation tomorrow. So very sweet.
Beautiful.
My mother was
Okay.
married to my father for 60 years. It's been rough with my dad not being around, and she's
Sure.
definitely lonely in some ways. And so she said, I'm going to pray that your dad holds my hand during the operation. 'Cause my mom hates medical stuff. She's scared to death, right? So
Yeah.
here we go. Okay, let's jump in here. I can't let these go. They're coming up on the count. 37 equals 10. Numerology is real. And my mother is a 37 nut, DJ. So okay, then you're gonna freak. when you
Already
hear that.
buying in.
Okay. So my father's name is Robert Joseph Lerch, R.J. Lerch. Okay.
Okay.
And my father was born. His birthday is December 23rd, 2 days before Christmas. Okay.
Okay.
So first thing that happens to my mom,
Right.
she's the surgeon that's working on her heart, the primary surgeon. She asks the surgeon, because she didn't know, what is your first name? And the surgeon says, oh, my first name is Robert. Okay. Coincidence? Maybe not. Whatever.
Okay.
3 different nurses take care of my mother, okay, leading up to the operation. Okay.
Sure.
One like
people
you want,
that
one
you have,
get like you check
that's like,
in.
you're
Yeah.
ready. Yeah. There's
Yeah.
all these things. Yep,
And then
yep,
you have
yep.
the one that's actually in the room with you.
Correct.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
Yep.
All 3 nurses' names begin with J. Okay, Robert
right.
J. Lerch. Robert J. One was Jennifer. Then it was Jeffrey.
Could have been Janet, right? Jessica,
Whatever. There was
whatever. Okay.
all J's. She's, what's your name?
That's
Oh, my
odd.
name is Janet. Oh, my name is Jeffrey. Oh, my name is Jack. Oh,
Okay.
what? What's
That's
with the
weird.
J's? Robert
Sure.
J. All right. Each time you go through a different little place in getting your operation, they ask you. They want to make sure that you're who you say you are. As you're
Correct.
moving from
Oh
room to
yeah,
room.
because
So
just
say,
in case.
what's your name? What's your date of birth? What's your
Right.
name? What's your date of birth? What's your name? What's your date of birth? My mom gets into literally about to roll her into the operating room, or maybe she was already rolled in there. And the nurse with the J initial says to her, before he says to her, what is your date of birth? My mother says to him, hey, what's your date of birth? Just to mess with
Okay.
them, because everyone's asking her name,
Like,
date. So she says to him, name, date of birth. He says, well, it's Jeffrey, another J, freakish.
Shit.
And my date of birth, 12/23. My father's date of birth. Okay. Like, what the bleep, right? And then the guy says to her, okay, hey, if you want, I'll hold your hand during the operation. And he did. He held my mother's hand during the operation. Whoa. Like, okay, are there spirits? Listen, I'm not advocating one way or the other. I don't want to do a show and walk around with those meters and believe in ghosts, but what the bleep? Are you kidding
Wow.
me? That's a lot of coincidences. That's a lot of coincidences going into a heart operation, which, by the way, went fine.
I was just about to say
my mom's doing great.
that's
My mom's doing
that's the only natural follow-up question
Yeah.
to that
How's your
story,
mom? She's
obviously.
great. Yes.
So she's good.
Cool
That
story,
is,
right? Is that
that's
nuts?
an That's an insane story. My
Yeah.
fiance watches those ghost shows, so they go to
Mhm.
the places and have all the technology of beep, 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 and all these
Mhm.
things and what it means and all that. Just I believe in all that. My mother believes in all that. So 1,000%. To me, those are not just for those many things to all line up that way. Just it's too impossible to me.
Yeah.
Again, DJ says it in here that it's so weird how things work out. Like there's just there's a greater power at play here. That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah. It's beautiful. It's really cool. I was like, wow, Mom, I have to say, she got home from the operation. I said, I think
That's
Dad was looking out.
compelling.
I think Dad was looking out for you. I mean, that was a
Clearly.
powerful prayer the night before to ask Dad to kind of be there for you. And if you believe in signs that people, after they go, do watch over you, dare I say, do have some kind of, little, blinks into your life. Holy crow. That is,
Well,
wow,
right. We'll pour one out. Let's shout
man.
out Papa Lerch here on the
Yeah.
show. Big shout out.
Okay, fantastic. Hey, before we move on to the NFL ranking thing, wide receiver rankings are out. I want to get to
Yeah.
that, and in particular, I want to talk to you about one receiver in particular
Mm.
from my New York Giants, thus the wardrobe today. You said there was a top 25 coaches in the list. Could you pop that up? Can you access that for a sec?
Yes. And Jim
oh, look at
Boeheim.
that. Jim Boeheim. I was going to ask you, where was Boeheim in the top 25,
Yeah.
right? Because he's the legend here in Syracuse, now retired.
Correct.
He was number 15 all time.
Okay.
Can
All right, Lerch.
can you count us down from 10 to the top? You going to ask me to throw some guesses? What are you going to do?
I was going to ask you to throw some guesses in here.
All right. Okay, let's start at the top and try and work our way down if I can.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
This is
Okay.
not going to be easy. You're asking me to access
Okay.
a lot of years of history.
So for people that are just joining us, and by the way, like the video, hit subscribe if you're watching right now. The Athletic put out a list of the top 25 college basketball coaches of the 2000s, and they factor
This
in all
is what's
going to
make it.
national championships.
This is what's going to make it
Final
brutal
Fours
for me is that it's the 2000s, and now I have to do dates. I'm terrible at dates.
Yes.
Like I'm ready to say John Wooden, put him at the top. No, John Wooden was a few before.
Ineligible on this list. Right.
Ineligible. So I
It's
got to go to 2000. All right. I don't know that I'm going to get him in order, but let me try and get some guys
Oh, sure. Right. Yeah.
on the table here.
Okay.
I mean, if Boeheim's on the list, that means Jim Calhoun's on the list. And Calhoun has a little more than Boeheim in terms of national championships. So he's got to be in that top 15, if not in the top 10. Is he in the top 10?
He is in the top 15, number 13 on the list.
Okay. So he didn't quite make the top 10, but I knew he'd be a little in front of Boeheim.
There you go. Okay. Nice.
And how about Roy Williams? I got to think that Roy Williams also.
Okay, let me. What I will get here is we won't have trivia music, but I'll give you right or wrong buzzers
All right.
as we're going through this. I know that'll make you feel better. So your official
people
next
in the
guest
comments,
is,
help me out. Don't look it up. Just help me out.
Yeah, there you go.
Throw some possible names at me, and I would love to throw your name out. I'll give you credit if you got it.
Okay,
Top
so who's your
10
next official
coaches
guest?
in the 2000? I said Roy Williams, so I guess I got to stick with that.
Okay.
Although I still
That
don't
is
know.
correct.
What number is Williams?
Number 2.
Oh, wow.
Number
Okay.
2.
Wow,
I was about to
that's
say,
high.
Lerch, he's very high on the list. Yes.
Okay.
He has.
And-
Well, think about it. He has 3 national championships. One with Kansas. That was at the beginning of the
I know that.
2000s, and then North Carolina. He had 2 more.
Yeah. Well, Coach K will be number 1. I mean, now that we're talking
Okay,
2000s, Coach K's got to be number 1.
He is not number 1.
Okay. Well, he's on the list. He's in the top.
Okay.
Is he 3?
Which,
What is he,
I will
3?
give you.
Okay.
Let me get. Unless he is 3rd on the list.
3rd on the list. Okay. All right. He's up there. I would have picked him number 1. Who the heck is number 1 then? An obvious guy, huh? I mean, it's got to be. I mean, come on. It's got to be obvious. Talking about coaches since the 2000s. Years kill me. Why does this
I'm
have
willing to
be
give you
years?
hints.
All right. Give me a small hint, but I mean, you
Okay.
shouldn't have to give me a hint for number 1. That's embarrassing.
Probably not. But this guy has 2 national championships.
2.
Okay. He's been to 4 Final Fours. And he spanned 2 teams during these 2000s. He's been on 2 different teams.
Is it Pitino?
It is not. It is not Pitino. But let me see if we have Pitino on this list.
Pitino should be on that list for sure. He's got to be on that list.
Yeah, he's 5th. He is 5th on the list.
Pitino's on that list.
Okay, so another correct buzzer there.
That is correct.
2 national championships, 4. What'd you say?
Final Fours.
4 Final Fours. Oh, Lord.
Oh, Lord.
It's a crime that I'm not getting this. I know it's a crime.
I'll give you some additional stats, because why not? 18 conference regular season championships, 11 conference tournament titles,
All right.
He's been to the NCAA tournament 24 times.
Can I do this at least? I'm not cheating. I swear to you, I wouldn't cheat on something like this. All right.
Okay.
But I just need to look at college basketball teams, and then I'm going to be like, of course, duh.
Maybe.
All right.
Okay.
So no,
right.
no maybe. Okay. That's it.
Okay.
I need to see. So let me just get, I'll throw up standings so I can just see teams.
Okay.
All right. Get into the big conferences. I'll be able to pluck this out. Come on. I got to be able to get this, for crying out loud.
Can't believe it's taken you this long, to be honest with you. But
Stop. Leave me alone. I'll tell you another guy that would probably be on the list is Sampson, the guy at Houston. Kelvin Sampson.
He is 10th. Kelvin Sampson.
I thought he would take him.
There you go. Very nice. You got 10th on the list, so let's give you another one.
Is Lute Olson, the former Arizona coach? I would think that he would be on there too. Would he be on there?
Let's see.
Lute Olson. Lute Olson. Lute Olson.
No, he does not appear to be on
the
list.
Okay.
But if you're talking about a former Arizona coach, Sean Miller is on the list at 24.
Okay. All right.
There you go. So for those kind of get on.
Oh, Tom Izzo. Come on. Tom Izzo's got to be.
You believe Tom Izzo is on this list? He is 9 on the list. 9.
He's not number 1. Oh, my God.
No, definitely not number 1, but 9.
Okay. Tom Izzo is 9? Blasphemy.
And Tom Izzo doesn't have a single national championship.
I didn't realize that. Izzo doesn't have a single title?
0.
God, if I had to guess, I would have thought he had at least 1 or 2. Oh, goodness. Okay. So much for my incredible knowledge of college basketball coaches. They're always in it. I think that's part of the problem.
Sure.
Oh, I'm going through leagues. I'm not even seeing teams that I would say, come on, give me what am I missing here? Patriot League, Southeast, SEC. Oh, SEC. SEC.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Wow.
Calipari?
Calipari. Is Calipari on this list?
He's got to be in the top 10. I don't think he's number 1, but he's got to be on the list, right?
Okay. Let's see. Are you correct? He is 8th on the list.
8th. Yeah, he's not number 1.
Okay.
Who's this obvious? Can you give me the league? It's embarrassing that I have to ask you this.
Also, I do want to correct something here. I want to correct something here that Tom Izzo does have 1 national championship, but technically that came during the 1999 season, so it doesn't count towards his 2000s and on list.
Oh, poo-poo.
So sorry.
Ridiculous.
So sorry.
See, that's where this gets silly. 2000 on, and you don't include the guy before 2000 if he coached that long. So then you wouldn't put Boeheim's all the stuff he did before 2000. That's dumb.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I'm not loving this list for coaches because coaches have longevity, unlike players who come and go. Coaches have longevity. All right, give me the league for number 1, so I at least have a fighting chance here because I'm sucking here.
I'll give you the league for number 1.
Yeah. What conference is the coach?
Okay.
From?
The conference. Well, I guess technically he was in 2 places. So.
Well, give me the primary place if that's possible.
Okay, yes. For men's college basketball, let me give you the conference currently.
You know who else will be on the list? Billy Donovan will be on the list. Billy Donovan will be on that list in the top 10.
It is. I'll check Billy in a second.
Okay.
The conference we're looking for is Big 12.
Big 12. Okay.
Okay.
Where the heck's the Big 12?
And Billy Donovan, by the way, 6th on the list. Okay. Okay.
So Big 12.
Lerch, what is taking so long here, man? This is tough. Lerch, number 1, man. What is going on here?
I mean, it's not Bobby Knight. It would have been before the time.
Okay.
He was at Texas Tech for a while. I covered Houston, Arizona. We took care of Arizona. Is it a Kansas guy?
Who is that?
It's Bill Self. I guess it's Bill Self. God, he's number 1.
Bill Self is number 1.
Wow. Ooh, wow.
Yeah, and here.
Maybe his record. His record. In the recent is really good. Okay.
So
it's not an obvious. Coach K is number 1 in my book. Bill Self. Come on.
So yes, Bill Self, 702 wins. He's averaged 28 wins a season, and all that. So
Enough pain.
wow.
I'm done with that. Oh, that was
Okay.
painful. I'm sorry for all that,
Lurch.
folks. Awful.
So let's see. So Lurch, you're still missing a couple guys in this top 10. Do you just want to wave the white flag and reveal who they are?
We've wasted too much time. Go ahead. Just kidding.
Okay, so you mentioned Kelvin Sampson. You got him. He's at 10. Tom Izzo, you mentioned him. He's at 9. John Calipari is at 8. Mark Few, Gonzaga.
Yeah, that makes sense. Few. Yep. Okay.
7th on the list. I put him in there. Again, you already mentioned Billy Donovan. He's 6th on the list. 5th is Rick Pitino. You mentioned him on the list. Jay Wright, 4th.
Jay Wright,
4th. And then that wraps up the top 10.
Okay, so Wright and Few, I would have got those two. Bill Self, number 1. It's probably because it's 2000 going forward. So it's not overall greatness, because there are guys below him on that list that have way more overall greatness than Bill Self.
Sure,
Bill Self's
but may have won some of them in the 90s or a different time, which apparently
It's funny because I was thinking Kansas. I was thinking Roy in Kansas, and why didn't I just immediately jump to Bill Self? I should have. Okay. Hey, I'm human. Right,
there you go. Yes.
Oh, I hate that raw guessing stuff. Ugh. Yuck.
Which,
okay.
That's okay.
All right, so interesting little college tidbits.
Yes.
All right, let's get into some meat here on the NFL bone. We are, as we mentioned, in rookie training camp mode now. Many of the teams reporting. Giants already reported. Bills already reported. Jets reporting Friday or Saturday?
Saturday, I believe,
Saturday.
the 19th, whatever that ends up being.
Jets Saturday. Okay, so we are, rookie camp, and then boom, regular training camp, not that far behind. So here we go.
Correct. Yeah, and just to clarify, it is so the rookies are reporting, the veterans are reporting. So it's not even like the rookies have their own training camp. They're just reporting a few days earlier and get accommodated to what the training camp includes. And then it's all full flower coming up this weekend and next week.
Right. Okay. All right. So let's, in the spirit of football, getting cranking here and getting ready to go and us getting excited about it, that's for sure. Let's talk about, we know all week long, the folks at ESPN have been putting out this list, okay? It's essentially a poll that they did with executives, coaches, and scouts, okay?
Correct.
And they are coming up with a top 10 plus some honorable mentions for each position. The one that was released yesterday is an interesting one. That is wide receivers. And the name that sticks out on the list, certainly for me as a Giants fan, is the fact that Malik Nabers is on this list. Malik Nabers, a young man, just one season under his belt with a subpar quarterback, still was number 7 in the top 10 receivers in football right now. Is that a little bit of a reach, Boy Green? Or you think, the fact that he can make catches like that make it not so much of a reach?
Well, yeah, a couple of things here. So first off, this is the first time he's eligible. Obviously, rookies couldn't have been eligible last year. That doesn't make any sense. No football would have been played at that point. So this is all based off of his rookie season. And think about this, Lord. So he finished at 7, right? So 7 is where he is ranked on this list. There were people among executives, coaches, and scouts that ranked Malik Nabers, according to the article, as high as the 4th best receiver in football after his first year. There are people that had him at 4 on their list.
Wow.
Hey, and for full context here, some people didn't even have him on the list. So there was a polarizing nature. There's at least one person on the panel that had him completely unranked outside the top 10, honorable mention beyond. And some had him, again, as high as number 4. So there is a volatility to this. He's so young. He's only 21 years of age. But if you look at the numbers, Malik Nabers, had the 2nd most receptions of any rookie in NFL history. The only person he was behind is Brock Bowers, who was also a fellow rookie last year. He played tight end, so he was awesome. So, man, I mean, here's the other thing you like, is the Giants, regardless of their quarterback situation, they fed him the rock. Malik Nabers last year had 171 targets. That was 2nd, only behind Jamar Chase, who had more targets himself in that crazy Bengals offense. So
don't forget, he got hurt at the end of the year too. He got hurt. So
yes,
missed some games.
And another cool stat: Nabers had 19 forced missed tackles. That was the most among all rookie wide receivers. And we'll hear this, Lurch, because we're going to be talking to John Schmelk this week, our Giants insider extraordinaire that you guys will be able to catch on the channel tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. And that conversation includes some talk about this with Nabers. And Lurch, you'll remember this because you're a Giants fan. Malik Nabers, while 7th-ranked receiver, and there's a lot of hubbub around him, he missed a lot of catches last year. A lot of game-changing catches that could have won games. I remember one in particular. I can't remember the opponent, but it was like a 4th down, and I believe it's still Daniel Jones. He threw a ball to Malik Nabers. It would have been a first down. It would have helped them continue on down the field and potentially win the game. Hit Nabers right in the midst and went right down to the turf. So,
Yeah.
Nabers he can make these crazy catches that we're seeing on the screen with one hand, but also he can drop routine catches. So focus has to be more in tune here for Malik Nabers. Obviously, you got a lot of opportunities when you are throwing 171 balls. Sometimes you're going to drop them, but he dropped a few too many in the clutch conversation.
Well, I know your boy Garrett Wilson made the list as well with the new contract and all. He was number 10. Are you okay with number 10 for him? Do you think he should have been a little bit higher up the ladder?
To be honest, I'm surprised he made the list.
Wow.
To be honest with you, at all. Here's the facts. Garrett Wilson, I love as a player. I'm excited about him. I'm glad that we locked him in. But this is a top 10 list of receivers in the National Football League based on what? The only thing you really have to look at is production. And while Garrett has been consistent, he's been getting 1,100 yards a season every year of his career. And in Jets franchise history, that is the most productive Jets receiver we've ever had through our first 3 years in history, which is awesome. But when you compare it to the Jamar Chases, the Justin Jeffersons, he has not had 1,300 yards receiving. He has not had 14, 15, 16. He has not had double-digit touchdowns either. He is coming off a career year, though. He set new career highs in catches, yards, and touchdowns. All of those are career highs for Garrett, and he had the most consistent quarterback play he's had during his entire time, which was Aaron Rodgers. So I'm surprised that he made the list. That's awesome. It speaks to his talent and potential. And I think if he had consistent quarterback play and, quite frankly, better quarterback play, he could surge way higher on this list. Maybe he's 10 now. Maybe he's 5 next year if Justin Fields is able to deliver him the ball consistently. So, no, I'm going to be honest. I'm surprised he made the list at all. But we sort of talked about a few days ago. If he were to make the list, it's in this 8, 9, 10 range. If not, he would have been honorable mention.
Yeah, I think it's a nice spot for him. I think it's a nice spot.
Yeah. But think about the receivers he beat, Lerch, real quick, right? So Garrett Wilson makes the top 10. Here are the other guys he just edged out. Terry McLaurin, Puka Nacua, and Brian Thomas Jr. Those are all awesome players, and they didn't crack the top 10, but Garrett did. Incredible.
Yeah, outside the injury, Puka's been what a legit surprise he's been. Brian Thomas is definitely a star.
Oh, he was awesome last year.
And McLaurin's been Mr. Consistency. I know he's right now dealing with contract issues. He wants a new contract. They won't.
And he finally broke out with Jaden Daniels last year.
Yeah, Now he's got a QB to go with it. I mean, my goodness. And I can't argue at the top of the list. I mean, really. I mean, we've got some fantastic receivers in the game of football these days.
No.
I mean, I think you go either way with 1 and 2, Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson. I think they're 1 and 1A. I mean, look, Chase has the advantage of being with the same quarterback and a really good quarterback. Jefferson has to keep dealing with this quarterback turnover, and yet he still puts up numbers. Personally, I think I still would put Jefferson a little ahead of Chase, but it's 1 and 1A. I think so, just based on what he's had to deal with and what he still produces. But I know Chase had an amazing year last year. And
the Triple Crown, right? I think he led in receptions, yards, and touchdowns the entire league.
And look, he's gonna, he's probably in most fantasy drafts this year going to be the number 1 pick, or he's certainly gonna be top
for
2
people who have the first overall pick.
Well, you have the first overall pick in our little thing.
Am I going to do that or not?
No, I mean, is he under consideration for you at least?
My
goodness,
he is. But I will tell you this: I haven't really talked about that. Who would I have possibly talked about with this about the thoughts in my head? But I've heard a lot of people say, foregone conclusion, Boy Green clearly going Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
I'm a running back guy at nature at heart. So quite frankly, Bijan Robinson immediately comes to mind for me. Jamar Chase is, of course, in the conversation. And in our league, we have 3 wide receivers starting and it's full point PPR. So full context on the table. My mode has to expand here based on the rules of our league. So he's in the conversation, but I don't think it's a foregone conclusion I'm going Jamar Chase. There's going to be a conversation with me and the rest of my draft team.
Okay. All right. Well, he's under consideration for top 1, 2. No worse. There's no way he goes past 3. I'll tell you right now. I'm picking a 3. If he's on the table, I'll take him. Thank you very much. Okay.
Well, this past year, Lerch, in our fantasy draft, he went like 7, 8, 9 because of the contract situation. We didn't know, and I'll tell you, if he would have gotten to me, I would have been like, oh boy, and I don't remember where I picked, but wherever I thought twice about Jamar, I'm like, I don't know, that contract thing scares me. You don't want to be Le'Veon Bell, which happened to we had someone draft him 5th overall. This person's no longer in our league. I'm sure there's no coincidence to that fact, but he took him like 5th overall, and I was like, what? And he didn't play the entire year, so you just lit your 5th round pick on 5th overall pick on fire. Crazy.
Can't do that, right?
Yeah.
And watch it on Terry McLaurin this year. Not sure what's going to go on with that guy.
That I'm scared about. But I would have
Yeah.
probably put Jamar Chase 1. But again, to your point, you could go 1A, 1B with him.
They're
and
both
Justin
fantastic. Tyreek Hill
Yeah.
is number 3. All right. We'll see what his production is going to be this year.
How
I think
is he
that's
3?
overrated. 31
did he
years
do?
old now. Last year he was ranked 2 on this list. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not that
Last year
confident.
he fell off,
Yeah.
which, and
Big
some of
fall
it
off.
not his fault, right? He got thrown on the ground by a police officer, and that threw
Yeah.
his mind off, and he
Yeah.
had all that drama last year. Tua's health, like there was all kinds of questions.
Yeah, we'll see. He needs to have a good response. He's 31 now.
For sure.
CD
Yeah.
Lamb is number 4.
Oh, I love Lamb
26.
Chop.
He's in his
Love CD.
prime.
Yeah.
It's all going well there. AJ Brown is number 5. Makes
Yeah.
sense. I mean, again, I'm
They
not
win the Super
excited
Bowl. He
about
was a
that.
big part of that. Yeah,
He's still important to them. Amon-Ra, St. Brown from Detroit is number 6.
The Lions had a crazy year, and Amon-Ra continues to be a big strong stirs the trick. He also, I think, had some injury stuff last year, but yeah, Amon-Ra is spectacular.
I probably would have bumped him ahead of AJ there.
Yeah,
Nabers
you can
is
make that
7. Nico Collins, who's been rock solid in Houston. Again, he also had an injury, but rock solid there. He's at 8.
He's awesome.
That's a nice spot for him. And then Mike Evans is all the way
Come
down
on.
at 9.
Good old reliable.
Come on, he's the same age as Tyreek. Mr. Reliable. There isn't a more reliable guy than him. Really,
but he
hit
just
it
didn't
off
he
with Baker.
And he had the big injury. Remember, in the middle of the year, Lerch, he missed like 4 or 5 games or something because of injuries. And he just barely, in that final game, he got over the 1,000-yard streak has been very important to him. And he finally got it over in like the last game, and they celebrated. That was in Raymond James Stadium. So he's all reliable. He's been really good. I don't know how much he still has left in the tank, but he's a really good player.
And then Garrett is 10, as we mentioned.
Yep.
And then honorable mentions, Terry McLaurin of the Commanders, Puka of the Rams.
Look at this list.
Brian Thomas Jr. of the Jags, DK Metcalf, who's now with the Steelers, T. Higgins with the Bengals, and Devontae Adams with the LA Rams. So that's kind of the top guys. There's some other guys receiving votes too, but
it's a great league. Wide receivers, it is a great league. If you're on the Chinese calendar and you look at it, 2025 is the year of the wide receiver, and it's probably going to be that way for a long time, Lerch.
Yeah. Any guys are going to have like big comeback years this year? How about maybe someone like Jalen Waddle? Does he have a big comeback year this year?
Yeah. Last year was off base for sure. That'll be interesting. What does George Pickens looks like in Dallas with a CD Lamb opposite of him? Does he pop on the screen? That'd be interesting. And then I think we're looking for encores. We talked about a lot of rookies, Nabers, Brian Thomas Jr. What about Ladd McConkey? LaDD McConkey, as they say in the Key and Peele sketch. Like, he looked great. JSN had a coming out party last year for the Seattle Seahawks, so he's a really talented dude. Chris Godwin, you hate it. He had a horrific injury last year. Hopefully he comes back to full flower, but it may take him some time to find himself again. But he's a really talented player too. So again, we are spoiled as football fans with how many superstar receivers are in this league.
Yeah, no question about it. By the way, today's broadcast brought to you by our friends at Play It Again Sports. Play It Again Sports down there on Erie Boulevard in DeWitt, in the DeWitt Town Plaza. Let's just take a moment here and let our friends say hello.
Warm weather sports season is here, and if you want to gear up and save money on some of the top brands of golf, soccer, and baseball equipment, and much more, Play It Again Sports can be your solution. With both new and gently used gear, Play It Again has prices way less than regular retail stores. And for all you golfers out there, get some quick money for those clubs you've got stashed away and are collecting dust. Play It Again is always looking for quality gear. No appointment necessary. Just bring it into the store. Play It Again Sports in the DeWitt Town Center on Erie Boulevard. Don't spend more. Play it again. Play It Again Sports. Syracuse.com.
Hey, that was us at Play It Again there in that spot. See us there hanging out. We did an on-location broadcast.
We'll do a couple of those.
A couple of weeks ago. We did it both radio and here in the digital world that day.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we had a little crazy day, a little technical stuff going on, and we decided, you know what, let's use our platform here to send through the audio, and might as well just include the video at this point. Next thing you know, we're doing both. That was kind of fun.
That was a lot of fun, and I love doing those. It takes effort, energies, and obvious things that people may not know about. So I guess not so obvious about setting up live remotes, but those are fun, and I love doing those on location shoots. So hopefully we get to do even more of those in the future. That'd be wonderful.
What do you think about the combo here, as DJ Dirty Coach says, of Lamb Pickens?
Yeah, I mean, come on, that's the word to use. Insane. Now,
freakish
here's the thing.
athleticism. But is Pickens going to behave, man? That guy, there's a reason the Steelers let him go. I mean, he's insanely athletic. But what's going on between the ears is what I'm concerned about with George Pickens.
I have my popcorn ready, Lurch, because no matter what, it's going to be interesting. If he flames out in Big D with the Dallas Cowboys, it's going to be fun to watch that implosion. If he's amazing, which obviously is ridiculous talent, and you see it literally every game he plays, you see something stupid he does, like getting someone's face and getting a 15-yard penalty, and then he immediately turns around with some ridiculous over-the-back or one-handed catch off his helmet or something crazy. So the talent is, ridiculous. How does he get unlocked in Dallas? Again, he's never had a CeeDee Lamb opposite of him. So that, to me, I think is compelling. They have his contract worked out in a way that he is a free agent after the season, so he's as motivated as he could ever be. He's playing with Dak Prescott, the best quarterback he's ever played with, so that should give him all kinds of opportunity. So, insane is the appropriate word there. He is so ridiculously talented. So I'm excited to see what happens there with Dallas.
All right. Very, very exciting stuff. Hey, want to remind people, Boy Green, so I think we're going to get this out by the end of this week and then start forging forward with it. But we've been talking about it. It's time to stop talking and start acting. And what we're going to do is I am going to take this lovely photograph that is sitting on my wall. I'm looking at it right now of one David Tyree making a catch pinned against his helmet in a Super Bowl. You might remember it, folks.
Yeah.
With a Patriot defender all over his back, all right,
Rodney.
and came to the ground. Rodney Harrison, of course. I have a beautiful, I think it's an 8x10 or an 8x12 photo. It's fully framed, matted, okay, and it is autographed by David Tyree. Can I just pull? I'm going to pull it off the wall.
Please,
go ahead. I'm just going to let me mute my picture
and I'll
here
talk
for a
about
second.
It.
All right,
right. Go ahead.
You can talk about it. All right. Let me just.
Go ahead. You go grab that picture, Lurch. I will just say this. What we're doing on this channel, the Manchild Boy Green Digital, okay, we're streaming live in 3 different places, so like the video, hit subscribe if you haven't already. If you're on Facebook, the Manchild Boy Green Digital, we appreciate you supporting the cause. We want to blow up the subscribers on our YouTube channel, the Manchild Show with Boy Green Digital. And one way we're doing that is by giving away free stuff. So literally all you have to do to be eligible, whether you're an old subscriber or a new subscriber, is subscribe to the channel. If you're watching on a different platform like my YouTube, @BoyGreen25, or the Facebook, the Manchild Show Boy Green Digital, all you have to do is look up the channel, the Manchild Show Boy Green Digital, and hit subscribe. It is free to do, and you have a chance to win something. I'm going to blow up Lerch here so you guys can see him while I'm talking here. You're going to have cool prizes like this available. We took things off of our radio wall, and what a big, beautiful signature there from David Tyree, and we're giving that away. So once we reach 300 subscribers, right now we're at 167 subscribers. So essentially we double our subscriber count. You have a chance to win that. And you're getting all of it, the picture, the frame, and we will ship it to you. If you want to be eligible for that, all you have to do is subscribe to the channel. And again, once we reach 300 subscribers, you will be eligible for that. So what you want to do out there in the universe is get your friends, family, and everybody you know to subscribe, because the quicker we get to that 300 number, the sooner we give it away. And then we have more cool items that we'll continue to give away. So it's free. There's no money involved. It's literally free to have an opportunity to do it. So that David Tyree picture, it's sweet. And again, even if you're a Jets fan that's watching in here, you could give it away as a gift. You could hang it in your house, because to me, look at this over here. I've got a David Tyree entire setup over here that you guys see every day. The Patriots' demise is my pleasure. That's another great thing to have in the house. So
that's everyone's pleasure, isn't it? The Patriots'
100%. So you can't beat it, baby.
The autograph says David Tyree, 85, his number. And then it has the Super Bowl. He's done the Roman numeral, okay, for the Super Bowl. All right. Yeah. And then it says champs, okay, exclamation point. So that's how it's autographed.
Beautiful.
So it doesn't have anyone's name on it. And again, beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah.
All right.
Great signature.
And I'm giving you the frame, the matting, everything is yours. You put it on your wall. All right. So it's going to go to one of our first 300 subscribers. So if you're ready to subscribe, you're already in. You've done your part. Correct. But you can help speed along the process, dare I say, to get this thing out the door, perhaps to you or to a buddy, by getting some buddies to subscribe to our channel. Again, @MC Show Digital is the place to go. Hey, some other comments coming in on the list, so let me jump up and throw some of them up there. Our good buddy Alon saying, how is Garrett ranked higher than Nakua? Answer that one, Boy Green, Mr. Jet.
Hey, No friggin' clue. Again, I said I'm surprised that Garrett Wilson is on
No
this
bleeping
list.
crew is the answer to that.
But if I was to make an argument, it'd be what Lerch said. Nakua dealt with a ton of injuries last year that took him
Probably.
out for a significant chunk of the season. So obviously, and for the again, I keep saying obvious. Maybe it's not. This list that Jeremy Fowler does, he does every year, and he's done it for the last 5-6 years. So this list is not an all-time list. It's not who's the greatest receiver, who has the best credentials. It is literally on a year-to-year basis. Who is now in the top 10? It's not potential. It's right now. That's also why I think Garrett being on this list is sort of crazy, because you're not projecting. You're saying where they are right now. That's how the list is constructed, and that's how Jeremy Fowler explains it in the introduction of every article. So, no, I would assume it's the injuries would be the only reason he's above Nakua.
Some shade at the Patriots. Love that catch because it beat
Come
the
on.
cheaters. Throw some shade. It's all right, R&R. Throw some shade, baby.
Yes.
We don't mind a little shade at the Patriots now and then, so very well
Yeah.
done there. All right, here's a question. This one's up for me, Boy Green. Johnny Boy asking me, the Giants' defense, which group of positions is the strongest and which is the weakest and why? Okay, this is an easy one for me, to be honest with you.
Oh, okay.
Strongest, it's going to have to be, and we don't really know for sure, but it's going to have to be the defensive line. All right. It's going to have to be the trenches. You've got Abdul Carter now in the fold. Thibodeau has to up his game a little bit. He needs to step up another level. Obviously, Dexter is rock solid, as good as they get in the middle of that line. So the defensive line, it has depth. It has Burns. I'll include him as a defensive line. He's an edge. I know he's kind of he's a hybrid. I'll include him in that. I mean, it has to be their best unit. I think it's going to be their best unit. Their weakest unit, I'm still extremely concerned about the corners. I really am. I know the safeties are a concern too, and they are. I mean, they are. There's a concern there. But I always think you could kind of get away a little bit with not having the greatest safeties, especially if your corners are good. But, the Giants are just – I know they went out into the free agent market and they picked up what should be their number one corner, but they're still relying on Tay Banks. And I don't know. It was a first-round choice a couple of years ago. Where is he at in his evolution right now? So it's close between the corners and the safety position, but I'm not going to go corner. I'm going to go corner because I think corners are more important, and I think that you need to be able to lock down, and I still don't know if the Giants have any – lockdown corners. So I'm more concerned with the corners than I am the safeties, although I still, to this day, will not understand two things the Giants did in recent years. Number one, of course, is why did they not just pay Saquon Barkley and move forward, and that running back room would have been secure. And then number two, why didn't they pay Xavier McKinney? They waited on that guy. Remember, he got hurt right away. He wasn't part of the equation right away. So he got off to a late start. But he was showing all these signs. But again, they just didn't want to pay the position. So the Giants got into two spots with the safety position and the running back position where they didn't want to pay the position. And that had a guy in his prime walk away. And now look at what those two guys have done. They're both basically all pros. And it's like, you don't let go of guys to let them be all pros for other teams. Those are the guys you pay. So it's frustrating being a Giant fan with all the noise that's gone on recently. But that's my take on the defense.
Yeah, I think the defense line is the strength, no question about it. But just on your safeties real quick, right? So they let Xavier McKinney go. He gets $67 million. That's a lot of money. That's buco bucks. But this offseason,
I told you, just to jump in for a minute, I told you years ago, and we had this conversation on the radio ad nauseum. Don't pay Adams. Don't pay Adams. I told you, that's when the Jets were up with Adams, and they were trying to decide whether they're going to pay him or not. And I said, you just can't pay safeties that way. Let him go. And that actually turned out, I think, for the Jets to be a good move that they didn't pay the safety that crazy money.
Yeah, and
he's still a productive player. He's still a good player, but not the kind of buco bucks that the Jets were going to have to pay him to keep him.
And so I don't even have to do the math on this one. So Xavier McKinney, again, they let go on a 4-year deal for $67 million. This offseason, they signed Javon Holland to a 3-year deal for $45 million. So they saved like $2 million basically on a per year basis. If they're going to spend money, why not keep your own versus hiring someone else's mercenary and Javon Holland? So that's the thing I don't get. If you don't want to pay safeties, and I agree with you, Lerch, I think that's a position you could get away with not being elite at.
Right.
But if that's true, then why did what changed? Me and John Schmelk got into an argument about that, not in our interview that's coming out tomorrow, but our interview a couple months ago. I said there was a philosophy change here. They were cool not paying a safety last year, and then they changed their mind. That's part of it I don't really understand.
Right. Again, it all makes sense. It all makes sense. Look, the Giants, they're still kind of rebuilding. I think there are going to be some definitive improvements. I don't know what it's going to mean in terms of wins and losses this year because their schedule is brutal. Remember, we saw the schedule. My God,
Good
Giants
luck.
have one of the most difficult schedules in the NFL. I don't understand how the schedule making works out anymore. It's just because you're playing certain divisions, it really makes it really, really minimal how much the schedule makers can make your schedule softer if you're one of the poorer teams or harder if you're one of the better teams because it's most of it's predicated on your division plus the divisions that the leagues that you're playing, the divisions you're playing out of conference. And then you're left with a few games. And all they have to toy with is a few games. That's not good enough because if you're playing a Titanic division like the Giants are, yeah, they're all tough games. That's exactly what their situation is this year. So it's depressing. It's going to be a losing season again for the Giants. How bad it will be, to me, at this point is the question. And then, of course, for the Giants, trying to answer the quarterback thing. And I don't know what that is exactly
Yeah.
because
Well,
I am a proponent, as you know, of not jumping in there and throwing Jackson Dart to the Wolves. All right. That, okay, if he plays this year, he's playing definitely later in the season and he's playing in a developmental situation, not in a pressure packed, we got to win today kind of world. And I'm not really loving that for Jackson Dart. So I hope that
yeah.
doesn't happen.
Yeah. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. All right. Well, those are the big topics for today. Boy Green, anything else on your mind before we sayonara our way out here?
No, just another shout out to all of our sponsors and appreciate it for all of the wonderful sponsors that made the transition from radio to digital with us. So it's been a lot of fun. I've enjoyed all the commentary in the comment section, so you guys can continue to light that up either on our live videos or even after the fact, and we'll interact with your comments for those that watch on the replay. If you can't watch live, I know a lot of people are working at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock during the day. So either way, we appreciate it. So no, just a fun topic of shows here.
All right, we'll let this one in before we get out of here.
Sure.
Johnny Boy asking this question. Boy Green, I think this one's right up your alley. The
Okay.
Woody Johnson putting all the time and stuff going on with the new soccer team. Is that why the Jets are actually taking care of business? Because Woody's busy doing other stuff.
Well, it is true. Woody Johnson did just buy a soccer team, but
Yes.
that's about as far as Crystal Palace. I don't know. All those things go beyond me. I am American football, not football. So my apologies for not giving a better discussion of his new purchase and what that means for the future of soccer. But to the question that it really is asking about the Jets. No, I wouldn't say that. Woody Johnson has opened up his, his wallet here, which obviously he was conferred with on, hey, we want to give Sauce Gardner $120 million. Hey, we want to give Garrett Wilson $130 million. Woody had to approve that for those extensions to happen. So, no, him being distracted by this new soccer team is not why moves are getting done and other extensions looming or things of that nature. Woody has to be cleared on all of that. But I would say, I think Woody said it himself best after this season and hiring the new coaches. I need to look at myself in the mirror and be a better owner. And I'm going to give the keys to the franchise here to Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji and allow them to work through this, good, bad, or indifferent. I'm trusting them. I've hired these two. He went through a very thorough hiring process to even land on these two chips, which they ended up being. So let's see what they do with it. So no, I don't believe the soccer team is it. Again, if I was the owner of the Jets, that would be enough for me. I wouldn't need to be an owner of another team or owner of this. I'd have all my ducats on the Jets. I'd be this crazy super fan all the time. But good for him that he's got more of his attention span to share with other things. But no, I don't think that has anything to do with it. That must be his own personal interest or things of that going on. But no, Woody deserves credit for opening up the pit.
A lot of questions on the Giants QBs. They have like 5 QBs. So the Giants QB room, to my knowledge, is Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, Jackson Dart, Tommy DeVito. All right. I think they just have 4. I don't know whether they have a 5th.
I'll double check right now
to have somebody on the roster, but those are the 4 guys that are competing for roster spots. I mean, you're not going to carry more than 3, right, Boy Green?
They only have 4 quarterbacks, so it's only 4. There's no 5. There's
those are the
4 that you mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I think they're at least keeping 3.
Right.
Because, with the contracts and how they're structured, like Jackson Dart is going to be this developmental guy. Obviously, he's not getting cut. Obviously.
Clearly.
Russell Wilson with his money, he isn't getting cut. And Jameis, maybe you trade him, I guess. If someone has a devastating quarterback injury, maybe you could trade Jameis. But I think the Giants did this saying, hey, we want to have options. And
Right.
teams all around the league are scrambling when quarterback injuries happen. We don't have to. We've got depth at quarterback. And even Tommy DeVito, he's been in the system longer than any of the other guys. So
Right.
I think Tommy DeVito, in a perfect world, the Giants would like to move him from the active roster to the practice squad and keep him on there as an emergency guy. They may not be able to do that. For people who don't know, what the Giants will have to do eventually is cut Tommy DeVito. He must clear waivers and not be claimed by anyone. And then if Tommy decides to choose to re-sign with the Giants practice squad, he could. And maybe he will because of his family and everyone's close there. But he may say, yikes, Jackson Dart's a first-round pick. All these veterans, I have no path to getting back to the Giants 53-man roster outside of an injury. Maybe I'll join someone else's practice squad to have a better path for my NFL career. We'll see what he chooses to do. But I think they keep 3 on the 53-man roster, and, Tommy on the practice squad is probably their hope.
All right. Last question I'll ask before we get out of here. But before we get out of here is this. Badshaw asks about Tyrod Taylor as a backup, knowing that he was once with the Giants. You and I, Paul, have talked about Tyrod a lot over the years. Look, he's a cagey vet. He's fine, but he's just a backup. So are you asking me, am I excited about Tyrod? The answer is no.
Well, Lerch,
he's a capable guy. He always gets hurt when you get him in there. Then he lasts 2 or 3 weeks. Then he gets hurt. So if he ever has to do long-term duty, forget it. But he's a reliable guy for short-term duty. And not only was it the Giants for a long time, he was with the Bills for a long time. And we learned a lot about him when he was at the Bills because we regularly on our radio show checked in with Bills insiders and we're talking about Tyrod quite a bit. So by all accounts, an earnest guy, a hard-working guy. A guy that is really well liked in the clubhouse, really well liked in the locker room, I should say. So I think he's a good guy to have around. I think he's a good clipboard holder. But that's what you want him doing, holding the clipboard, not taking snaps under center.
2 things here. First off, if you're going to speak about our backup quarterback, say his name with some reverence. It's Ty God, not Tyrod.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay. We'd appreciate that in Jets fandom land. And to be honest, Tyrod Taylor or Tyrod, we had that whole debate in Buffalo Bills land
I'm sticking with Tyrod.
Ago, so who knows even know what it is now. But he will always hold a special place in Bills fans' hearts because he was the quarterback that ended the 17-year playoff drought.
Yes, he did.
Before they went to Josh Allen, it was Tyrod Taylor, and he ended that thing. They ended up losing. They played the Jacksonville Jaguars in Florida and ended up losing a 9-6 disgusting game.
Yeah.
But, so Tyrod holds a special place. I think he's a very capable veteran backup that can, in spot duties, be a serviceable guy. I don't think he's winning you Super Bowls. I don't think he's taken to the playoffs or anything crazy like that. But he's serviceable, and that's really what you want from your backup quarterback.
All right. It is time to say goodbye. Again, thanks to our primary sponsor of today's broadcast, Play It Again Sports, up there on Erie Boulevard in DeWitt, in the DeWitt Town Plaza. Thank them as our title sponsor today. Don't forget, get your friends, your countrymen, your neighbors to sign up on our YouTube channel at MC Show Digital, and this could be yours. One of the first 300 subscribers is walking out the door with this. Fabulous stuff, and it is coming right off my wall and onto yours. So do it. Find some people who love sports, who love the kinds of things that we talk about. We've been doing pop-up lives, as you know. We did a pop-up live yesterday on the Sauce signing by the Jets. We did a pop-up on the Garrett Wilson signing the other night. Things are happening with the big squads, the Jets, the Giants, and the Bills here regionally. Stuff going on with Syracuse football and basketball, Mets, Yankees. We will be there for you. And as you saw today, we go off on tangents sometimes and talk about things like, does my mother actually see ghosts, or are there people and things working behind the scenes in my family? So all of that is, as they say, food for thought here on our wonderful, wonderful Man-Child Show with Boy Green digital channel. Thanks again, folks, for tuning in today. We do appreciate it. We're dropping tomorrow the John Schmelk interview, Giants Insider.
11 o'clock.
Some really good stuff, including some discussion on is Nabers the 7th best receiver. We'll get John's take on that. I'm sure he has an interesting one. A little bit of talk on Dexter Lawrence, and is he at some point going to be asking for the bag? So lots of cool stuff.
And also,
yeah.
And he gets in on the Lawrence Taylor debate. Is he among the 10 greatest players in NFL history?
I'm dying to hear about that one.
That should be interesting.
Dying to hear about that one. All right, everybody, peace out. Thanks for watching again, and we'll see you soon. Take care.